Shane here from Sustainable Reefs, and today we're going to frag up some second generation Fimbriaphyllia frags that are in this bucket here. I'll show you that very soon. And they're a little bit special because they were the result of a new fragging method that was experimented with about 2 years ago. And we were using single and double major septa. So the septa are the rays or the fins around the top of the skeleton that are quite sharp and like razor blade like, and what the polyps retract down into. So cutting the head of the original polyp, kind of like a pizza, and you only get a couple or a single double major septa per frag. And it was a bit of a risky cut, bit of a risky move, but it paid off because we got quite a few frags out of it and they've all come through. So I've just grabbed a little bit of a selection of those today from a main grow out system, put them in this bucket right here, and right now we're going to frag them up. So these guys here, that's what all the fuss is about. And you can see right down there, that tiny little wedge that's coming from. And all of that top polyp section, the new white growth, has grown as a result of a single major septa frag. Today we're going to cut that off that base and we're going to refrag that to be another at least 6 more frags per frag to create generation 3. And that's pretty exciting. So yeah, at Sustainable Reefs here, we've got a little bit of a fragging setup going on. Alright, so working with very long kept Fimbriaphyllia and torch corals, they can actually stay out and stay non-retracted just like this, which makes it a little bit challenging to frag, but we'll work with that. It's fine. So what we can see under here is the original single septa, which is essentially probably like 1/8 of the top of this, and we're going to go for the same thing. So you can see the septa here, the big ones around the top. The original of this started with just one of those and a little one either side. We're going to replicate that right now. So my apologies if this gets really loud, because the Gryphon saws are my least favorite piece of equipment for coral cutting. I'm sure they're great for lapidary, but anyway, let's go. They're loud and clunky. So you can see it there. Alright, we're just going to rip that bottom bit off because it's pointless. Nothing there that I want. All that, yeet. Now what we're going to do is come up to the bottom here. Actually, something that I didn't do and I should have just realised, there's actually no water in the bottom of this saw. Preparation work was terrible. So that's actually just broken one of my #1 rules of cutting, which is do not burn your corals. So when you're doing frags, don't burn them. And to not burn them in essentially an abrasive saw, you need liquid. And it didn't have any. That cut was okay. It doesn't matter too much for that one because there was no flesh cut. Now with this one, there will be flesh cut, and what we're going to do is we're going to score it from behind. There's the liquid. Alright, notice that I didn't cut all the way through there. That is still a complete coral. I'm going to turn that off, and the next step is to get a razor blade, and we're going to complete the cut with a razor blade. Actually, we're going to go one better. We're going to use a scalpel here. So to complete this cut, it's quite simple. Just making sure you can see there. Done. So the bit that I just cut there was this section in the middle here, and that there is what we don't want to be cutting with the diamond blade. Avoid that at all costs. Now we go again. Alright, so there you go. I've just scored the back, and I've actually left a little bit of skeleton intact that time on purpose. I've made these a little bit bigger. As you notice, they're not quite single septa frags this time. I've done that on purpose because they're actually significantly smaller heads than what I started with originally. But I'm still going to get 8 frags out of this. As in 8 from the entire thing, not 8 out of each half. Alright, so it's all scored. It's all scored together. Now I'm going to very gently put that back down there and complete these cuts. This looks absolutely brutal, I'm sure you'll agree, but this is basically how that big one grew. So now what we've got here is a whole lot of mutilated mush, but all those polyps are very viable, so they're all going to go back down on the frags. We'll show you how to do that right now. Alright, I'm sure you guys know the drill, but just in case you don't, pre-soak your frags. That way I missed the bucket. Pre-soak your frags, that's just fresh water. Soak because they release bubbles. If you don't, that looks disgusting. Do the right thing. Pre-soak frags, I just cut 4, I'll do the rest later. Use your favourite glue, that's mine. We'll get this little guy over here. Bit of a wiggle. Oh, there we go. It's very hard to coordinate myself looking through a phone screen. We're done. There you go. Generation 3. See you in a couple of years, mate. Alright, so I hope you like that. That is essentially how we do things here at Sustainable Reefs. We are in it for the long haul, and we get a kick out of it. That's seeing something that we've cut 2 years ago growing into something that we can cut again and eventually market and send out to you guys is just something that we love doing. Being able to see it grow in all these tanks behind us and being able to learn from it and learn how those corals are growing and better ways to cut them and reproduce them. Like, I've even picked up something a little bit there that I'm going to trial on a few more of those frags there and see if we can improve it and improve that growth time, and that's what it's all about. Doing better each time. There's no point doing it if you're not getting better. So alright, keep an eye out for Sustainable Reefs hammer corals in maybe the next couple of years time, but yeah, they'll be sticking around here growing out and making generation 4 soon. Alright, happy reefing.